Whoa! Welcome to Anime is Love and Anime is Life. I'm your host, Tenshi X Big Business. Today on episode 4, well, we'll get to that because I'm not alone.
Still the wrong side.
Still got it.
Well, on my side, for me, you're right here and Caleb's down here. Okay,
for me, you're over there, but like in reality, you're over there. So I don't. Cameras are weird. This is the second time we recorded this. We'll talk about it later. But welcome everybody to Anime is Love, Anime is Life. I am one of your co-hosts, Bojack, the Dreadlock Demolition Machine. Today, the Dreadlock Weave Machine. We already got our other co-host with us here, Caleb.
How's it going, everybody? My name is Caleb, also the colored-haired weeb, who currently does not have much colored hair because I work 7 days a week and I'm fucking tired all the goddamn time. So, yeah.
That's so real. That's so real.
But
But today, for the first time ever, it is more than just the three happy weebs. We have one more friend coming with us. Tish, you gotta get the drum roll, please. Everybody, please welcome Dope, aka Phoenix Nitro.
Where did y'all come from?
Phoenix, your wall.
Nitro!
Your walls.
What happened? How was I feel like I've been here before. Hello? Whoa. Hi. What's up?
Oh my God.
Here? Hello?
Hello.
God?
Jesus.
he turned and he was like, "Who is Cherry?"
Dope, give us a little bit of an intro.
Oh, pop the top. It's time for another anime to drop. And today, I'm a pro wrestling commentator for promotions such as the Premier Wrestling Federation out in Newport, North Carolina, with everybody else is pretty much in this call right now. I also commentate out in Indianapolis, Indiana for Naptown All Pro Wrestling. I also do a little commentary at Pro Wrestling Revolver sometimes. Other than that, 107,000 subscribers on YouTube, but you know
that's big business.
We're talking about anime.
That big business.
That big business right there. We talk about anime. Hell yeah.
I'm the crown prince of the Fire Nation. Most importantly, thank you.
Hey, we gonna get to the phone. We gonna get to the goddamn Fire Nation. We gonna get to the goddamn Fire Nation.
We'll get to it.
But today is episode 4 of episode 4 of Anime is Love, Anime is Life. We got a little bit of business we got to get to before we get into the nitty gritty of this episode. We got some housekeeping we got to do. First of all, episode 3 is out already. Haven't checked out episode 3. It's like not even a full hour. It goes by super quick. You can find that on the Anime is Love, Anime is Life YouTube, or you can check it out on Spotify at Anime is Love, Anime is Life. Speaking of things you can check out, oh my God! This shirt, not exactly this shirt, but that exact shirt that Caleb's wearing. You can go to goonsquadpw.com, pick up some Goon Squad merch. Look at that bandana. She's got a bandana. Look at that bandana.
This whole box of shirts that I have.
Hell yeah! This shit is crazy. Obviously,
so many fucking shirts.
Obviously, you know, we've been repping goonsquadpw.com, but now we have a little bit of extra incentive because now you can get your own Anime is Love, Anime is Life merchandise on goonsquadpw.com. We got shirts, we got hats. Caleb had the hat earlier. I don't know what happened to it. There it is. Yeah.
The hat's cool.
We got shirts, we got hats, we got mouse pads. We might have a flag up there by the time this episode is out. Who fucking knows? We got a lot of shit up there. Yes, sir. Check out goonsquadpw.com. Speaking of shout outs though, Goon Squad. Hell yeah. Speaking of shout outs, we are bringing back another segment. Shout out to the homies. Woo!
Shout out to the homies.
Shout out to the homies. This segment we do every episode where we introduced this last episode, where we take a homie, a member from the community, or just someone that we like in the ether that we think is doing a great job and shit, and that we want to give a shout out to. We think more people should watch and or listen to. And today's homie is the big baldy Tyler El Guapo.
You guys remember he's also a dinosaur. He's also
He is a dinosaur.
God, he is a dinosaur. Jesus.
Tenshi, what do you have to add on and say about our guy Tyler El Guapo, the dinosaur?
Well, since he's a dinosaur, he's loud. Okay,
That's true, bro.
Um,
That's so true.
he has a very big head of an energy. Like, and if you're tired, he'll wake you up. Go check him out. But
Check him out.
he is old. He is old. I'm so
He
sorry.
is. Dog, what you
Very
got to
old.
say about our boy Tyler El Guapo?
Oh, well, you already know that is my lover from another mother, if you will. That's right. We finagled once or twice in Durham, North Carolina before a DPW show. We did a little finagling together, if you will. Whatever that means. He's also a bald son of a bitch. What? He's doing great at commentary as of right now. You know what I'm saying? Snapping him into shape, if you will.
Fuck. Caleb, what you got to say about our boy Tyler El Guapo?
I knew I recognized Tyler when I first saw him at a DPW show. I was looking in the history books when I was in like 8th grade, and I somehow saw a photo of him like behind Abe Lincoln for some reason.
Oh my god.
It was so fucking weird. Like,
my God.
I remember his resemblance from having to study for it. Speaking of presidents, also the president of the Dakota Kai fan club. It's fucking insane. Like, it's fucking wild.
That is true, and
Pika.
and that is true. But on the real, shout out to Tyler, man. He's helped
Oh, you're
out.
fucking awesome, dude. I love you so
He's
much.
helped out so many of us in the Goon Squad. Like actual Goon Squad members, people just in the community. I'm gonna say it right now. I wouldn't be a streamer if it wasn't for Tyler. I know similar thing for Tenshi. He helped us both a bunch when we were getting our streaming and content creation shit off the ground. Him and Dalt have been doing commentary a lot lately. And he's just always been, super dope homie to Caleb. So on the real, all jokes aside, genuine shout out to our boy Tyler El Guapo. Tyler, we love you, even though you are an old bald son of a bitch. We still love you very much. What's up, dudes? I'm gonna have Caleb put this in post. So I meant to mention it while I was talking, like during the episode, but I forgot to mention that Tyler was in the middle of a subathon. I wanted to mention it during the episode and I forgot. Ignore how tired I look. I just got off work. But I wanted to mention that Tyler was in the middle of a subathon and he actually just finished it this morning. Fucking dude was on stream for fucking 25 days and that shit is crazy. And we all give each other like shit and like joke around and stuff just because that's who we are as friends and that's how we interact. I keep having to re-record this because I'm trying not to be emotional. But on the real though, a lot of us wouldn't be where we are streaming wise without Ty. I don't think fucking Goon Squad would be a thing. I'm doing a cast. I don't think Goon Squad would be a thing if it weren't for Ty. We love you, Ty, and congrats on the subathon and congrats on everything, man. And we love you, and we're super lucky to call you a homie. A segment that is not necessarily new, but we've never had like an official banner for it or anything, is what you watching. This is just what you watching. What you watching? What you watching? We just ask. We talk about like what we're watching lately. Whether it's obviously we try to keep it to anime and animation and shit like that, but just in general, like what the fuck are you watching? We'll start with our guest. We'll start with Dalt. What you watching?
Hello. Well, wrestling. Duh.
Oh my god, no way.
Yeah,
Who
right.
would have thought?
Wow.
Oh my god.
What gave it away?
A little bit of Cowboy Bebop again.
Oh, money.
A little, because I knew I was coming on here, so I was diving back into the classics, which we'll talk about later. But I was watching a little bit of Samurai Champloo, a little bit Avatar, of course, because of today's topic, and I'm talking about the animated one. Oh, so it was a great time. That's what I've been watching.
Hell yeah.
Hell
That's
yes,
fucking
yeah.
awesome.
I'm gonna just go in the lineup because I'm next at the top. Ooh. So all
What
right,
you watching?
I have a little. Whoa, yeah, go ahead. Hit it again,
What
Tenchi.
you watch?
What you
What you
watching?
watching?
Watch it. I have a little bit of a confession to make. In terms of anime, I've been slacking a little bit. I have been catching up on a bunch of like action, not real, not actual, fucking like live action shit. I've been on a deep dive into Netflix Marvel because Daredevil is getting a new show coming out on Disney Plus. So that's been taking up a lot of
Okay.
my watch time is Netflix
Mm-hmm.
Marvel. I just watched all of the pre-seasons of not pre-seasons, but all the seasons of the shit leading up to Defenders. I just finished
Yeah.
fucking Punisher season 1. I'm almost done with Luke Cage season 2. If y'all ain't watch
Oh,
motherfucking
so
Luke Cage,
good.
watch motherfucking Luke
Dude,
Cage.
so
bro.
good.
Oh my
Literally go
god,
watch-
bro.
Literally watch all the Netflix like watch the Defenders. Like just all that is so good in my opinion.
It's all so good, and it's not even that I didn't
Luke
want to
Cage is
watch
so
it when it
fun.
was on. I just missed the boat. You know, but now I'm catching up now. You know, so I can be ready for when Daredevil comes out. But I'm about to dive back into anime. Our lovely Caleb let me know that there are more episodes of Mushoku Tensei that I did not know, or that I thought the season was
So
done.
good.
And there's more episodes, and I've just been fucking slacking.
There's
Season
only like
2,
4 episodes. You're not that far behind.
hell yeah. Season 2 of My Adventures with Superman on fucking Adult Swim
I
started
need to watch
airing.
that show.
It's really
Keep meaning
good,
to watch
bro. It's really good. And then yeah, so and then one thing that I know Caleb was gonna mention, I've started watching, but I'm gonna let Caleb get into it because he's seen more of me. Now I'm gonna go out of order. Tenchi, what you
Oh.
watching?
Man, hold on.
What you watching?
I wasn't ready. But I'm gonna tell you what I'm
What you
watching.
watch?
I started watching this anime on Netflix. It's called Garudan. I don't know how to pronounce it because it's the ROU in the middle,
Mm-hmm.
but it's the full title is The Way of the Lone Wolf, and it to me it's like a martial art modern day Berserk, because like watching that anime has like a little dark feeling, and like Guts had like an inner demon like the Berserker armor. This character, he has like an inner demon that is like his what's that word? Like you have that strong fighting spirit where you can't control it, so he calls himself a wolf. So he tries not to fight humans because he knows that he might end up killing them. So there was this one, I finished the first episode, and that episode where he started fighting a whole big ass bear. He won too, and I was like, huh, not seeing me doing that. But I do gotta throw this out here. I'm waiting until June 6th because this is what I've been wanting. It's literally Kengan Ashura versus Baki Hanma. And if you don't know who Baki Hanma is, go check it out. Check it out right now. If you don't know
This
who
is why-
Kengan Ashura is,
I was gonna say this is why I love asking you like what you're watching, because you always have not even like crazy obscure stuff, but like just
Yeah.
obscure enough to where it's like just dips below the mainstream. Like not even it'll be like popular shit, but not like
Mhm.
what's like in the fucking mainstream right now. So that's why I love asking Tenchi what the fuck.
Oh, yeah.
Like I was looking at The Way of the Lone Wolf on Netflix. I just saw the trailer of it real quick. For some reason, the main character looks like Jason Lee or Chris Evans' character in Scott Pilgrim.
Oh my god, yeah,
does.
It looks so much like him, and I'm like, okay, I kind of want to watch this now.
I will
That's
say the one thing that throws me off is literally their ears. You know how our inner ears are like just normal? Their
Yeah.
fucking ears is like the top here is like bulged out, and like there's like it's just like a deep circle, like you can just see it, like they like when someone
So it's
loses
kind
that
of just like
ear.
a weird animation of the ear.
Yeah, and it threw
Okay.
me off. I was like, is something wrong with my ear? Or what's wrong with their ear?
They got
I
me
was-
looking
I
at
was-
me.
I was-
They got me looking at me. They got me looking at me right
I
now.
was like, I don't know how I feel about the ears, but the entire animation, the entire storyline from it, what I caught from it, like I said, I gotta go continue watching it. It's really good. But back to the Ashura, King and Ashura and Bakihama. It's just like I'm a huge fighting anime fan. Like whether it deals with like magic or no magic, guns, no guns. It's just like the passion behind it is there. And King and Ashura, check it out. That's also good. It's like a spin-off. It's definitely a spin-off of a Bakihama show.
I
But
gotcha.
Bakihama has a special place in my heart because throughout all the fights, this man fought a man. So I want to let that be known. Spoilers alert. But he fought a You're not seeing
you always do this, and it's always like something that you say, and then Caleb's gonna have to go and bleep it in post. But I remember before you were talking about Zom 100, and you were like, "Oh, he fights a fucking shark with legs," and I was like, "We should probably bleep that." I was like, "How? When did this show come out?" You're like, "Oh, dude, it like just came out." I was like, "Yeah, we should probably bleep that."
Yeah.
Hey, man.
That's fucking great, though. No, I love it, bro. I love it. Caleb,
It's wild. It's entertaining.
what you watching?
So I'll get to anime here in a second. I've been on a massive D&D kick for the last
Oh shit! Okay.
4 months. I've literally gone and watched all of Critical Role's. I'm currently in the middle of campaign 2 right now that they're on, and I've just been. I don't know what it is. I just like fantasy shit. But going on to the anime side, like Bo said earlier, I've been watching a lot of Mushoku Tensei, just getting caught up with it. Currently caught up. I think I'm 1 episode behind, at least on the dub of what is currently coming out. I finished up. You'll be happy to notice, but I finished up Invincible. I want season 3.
Woo! Yeah.
I want season 3 now.
We're gonna have an Invincible episode, not today because we got a lot to talk about. We're gonna have an Invincible.
Oh yeah, Invincible's. Oh god, fuck it. Anyways, of course I'm watching One Piece because I'm caught up on that shit week to week now, so it's fucking insane.
Caleb, the sole One Piece watcher on this show. I don't know if that's blasphemous or not.
I don't care if it's blasphemous, but I put in the fucking time and effort.
Well, no, blasphemous on our end for not watching it. You're doing the God's work.
It's 1,000 episodes. It's 1,100 episodes, dude.
There's no blasphemy.
Tenshi gone because One Piece was mentioned.
Okay, Tenshi, we're done with One Piece. You can come sit back down in the chair now.
I don't know. I trust you.
And Bo put me on it. Did we do it in this intro or the last intro? We probably did in the last intro. Anyways, Bo put us on this one. Been watching a lot of Kaiju number 8.
Oh my god, bro. Yo.
It is
Tenshi,
so good.
Tenshi, have you seen any of Kaiju number 8 yet?
No.
Bro. So I've been lacking too. I only saw the first episode and I haven't seen any of the rest of it. Dalt, that's one that you should check out. I think you'd like is Kaiju number 8. But like, yeah, I saw an episode and I was like, y'all need to watch this shit. And then Caleb watched like all of it.
Yeah, so when you watched it, everything you put it in the Discord, I literally think I went up to the radio station the next Sunday and I just binged all 4 episodes that were right there because I just had the time. And I was like, okay, when does the next episode come out? Because I need more. That shit is so good.
Yeah, it's fairly new, so we can't get too into it. But yeah, what's up, Tenchi?
I just want to ask Dalt. Dalt, it's okay. It's like I could send you anime lists, but it's not like mainstream. Like it's the ones like either I've seen or
send me whatever. I love seeing new stuff all the time.
Hell yeah, Tenchi, Tenchi, I love you so much. That is the perfect segue. You didn't even mean to do that. You didn't even know. You didn't even do it on purpose.
His unintentional segues are so good.
That's why Tenchi's our host, bro. He's that fucking dude. Talk about asking adult questions. That literally leads us into our next fucking segment. Questions for Phoenix.
Yeah, that's me. That's me.
That's right there. That's it right there. Yeah. We talk about our favorite shit all the time, being on this show. But I don't think any of us have really had super in-depth anime conversations with you ever. Me and you talked super briefly about Cowboy Bebop, but we've never gone anything past that. So we got a list of questions over here that we're gonna ask you, and for the lovely community. First question on the list: what is the first? And then we kind of doubled up on some of these, just because like we said, we also like to celebrate just general animation and cartoons in general. We don't want to keep it locked into anime. So if you have two answers for this, that's fine. What is the first anime / first cartoon that you ever saw that you remember?
The cartoon one's a lot harder because that's crazy. But the anime one, I'm very much so a baby when it comes to anime stuff. But it was probably like 6 years ago, and I'm currently 26, so that'd be I was 20, basic math.
Whoa. Quick math.
Samurai Champloo was my very first one because I got put onto it by a friend who was like, "Yo, this is like the craziest music that you would love. You need to watch it, but it's also a show." And I was like, "Okay, but is it like?" Because I've heard about like some animes that have like a bazillion episodes to it. And I'm like, I don't know if I could dedicate that much time to a show. They're like, "Nah, it's like 20 episodes max." I was like, "All right, bet." So I binge watched that on I believe Crunchyroll, if I'm not mistaken. Or
Shout out Crunchyroll.
Shout out Crunchyroll. Shout out Crunchyroll.
Sponsor us, please. Sponsor us,
Oh, that'd be
please.
great. You should sponsor them right now. The first cartoon, I don't necessarily know if it was the first one, but it's definitely like the one that I remember watching first. Got little Tommy Pickles boy on the phone because of it. You know what I'm saying? Little Tommy Pickles, little Rugrats. What? Little
You and
Rugrats.
my wife would get along about the Rugrats thing so much. That is insane.
I have a psychotic thing to say whenever we get on to the next question.
The good old late nights of 90s Nicktoons.
Oh, so
Oh
good.
my
Nick
God.
is my stuff.
All Nicktoons.
So that leads us into our next question. What was your first favorite anime / cartoon?
So my first favorite was, when it comes to anime, was definitely Samurai Champloo, just because like the nature of like I had never witnessed like storytelling like that, I guess, at that point. And I'd never witnessed like anything along that lines when it comes to just the way that show was. Like, it was so different to me. Now, something that's very like it's something I get, like, it's technically a cartoon, but like I feel like it's also, you know, it kind of ventures off into that when it comes to like westernized stuff. Avatar: The Last Airbender, the cartoon, man, that was woo, that's why I'm here. Guapo knows about it. I yelled in Guapo's face for like 3 hours about it at his house, in his home.
What's the blind girl's name?
There's a blind girl! You didn't know there was a blind girl! You didn't know that there was a girl that was Ray Charles Stevie Wonder! You didn't know that you couldn't fucking... Her whole thing is that she can't see, but she's the fucking best earthbender that's ever fucking bended, and her feet are on the floor! That's how she does it. And guess what, Guapo? Hear me out, Guapo. Hear me out, Guapo. Look at that camera right there. You see that camera right there? Look at the fucking camera. 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 You see that right there? Yeah. There's a whole episode where they go to the desert, right? And then she can't do anything because her feet don't fucking work. They're in sand, and she can't fucking see anything because she's fucking blind.
Hey.
Aside from just Avatar, though, like I showed on my phone, Rugrats is by far the thing that like I have adored the most. They're up until last year. Last year was the first year in almost a decade plus where I didn't fully get it completed. But every year up until last year, I would watch every episode of Rugrats from the very first episode until the very last episode of All Grown Up, because I just love that show so much. And now even the new stuff that's on Paramount, I love that too. Like, the new series of Rugrats is so fire. I know it's a lot of controversy when it comes to like the CGI stuff, but it looks so good. I love it. I think it's very, very dope. Rugrats and Avatar: The Last Airbender, I guess, would be the cartoon ones. They're kind of neck and neck tied.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Tenshi, do you have the questions up in front of you?
Why, yes, I do.
If you want to ask him that third question right there, go ahead.
Yeah, I got you. So, dog, what is your current favorite anime cartoon, if you have one?
Okay, so current favorite cartoon would still be Avatar: The Last Airbender or Rugrats. That's probably like the same as my favorite, because like that one never really changes. I don't feel like I feel like cartoon wise, I'm not really into anything that's new. Like I haven't really watched anything that's new. I think to not give the same answer as the last one, the newest thing cartoon wise that I was like really into was the regular show. Like that was my
Okay.
shit for sure.
Oh, yes, bro.
I always feel like at that time you were either an Adventure Time kid, a regular show kid, or both. And I was definitely just a regular show kid. Like
I was
Mordecai
definitely
was
regular
my
show.
dude.
I didn't
Oh,
get
yeah.
two shits about Adventure
Like I
Time.
would
Yeah.
I would
I need to watch them
jump,
still, actually.
I would jump back and forth to watching Adventure Time, but mainly, yeah, no, I had to watch regular show because it was it was Muscle Man, Pops, Skips. It is and all of the everybody was just being themselves, and it was crazy how they determined their characters like into one
Yeah.
freaking place. Because like I was expecting, a gorilla to be named Skips and legit Skip.
Yeah, right?
The greatest episode to me ever of that, by the way, was the episode where they got Tyler the Creator and Gambino. Like that
I
was
remember- yeah, I remember.
insane. Insane, bro. Like that blew my
Okay, I
mind. as a
definitely need to
kid.
rewatch regular show now.
Yeah,
I did not
'cause-
remember that.
It was the episode when they were in the park and they were like
Mhm.
freestyling and rapping.
Mhm.
I remember, and like
Okay,
Pops was like,
good.
Pops was like, why y'all gotta be so fucking mean? Like, let's just write poetry. Like,
Okay, I remember that one now.
Like
I saw.
but-
I didn't realize that
I
was
saw.
Tyler and Gambino. Holy shit.
Yeah, bro, it's crazy. I saw
Yeah.
a thing on Instagram, and it was like, this is how a regular show episode is paced, and it was like at like a traffic stop, and like a car just like hit like a bump and like veered off to the side, and then it like crashed into something, and then that like crashed into something else, and then that fucking knocked over a lamp pole, and the lamp pole hit something across the street, and then that blew up and caused like a mega like explosion, like fire. And I
Yeah.
was like, that's so real, bro.
That's just- God,
I think for like the anime portion of that question though, there's two that come to my mind, which the most recent anime that I've watched like from start to finish, of at least as of right now, because I don't know if there's gonna be a third season or not. Megalobox is like my
Oh
favorite
my God.
shit.
I've
Like
been wanting to watch
Megalobox it's so good. Like it's one of those stories where like that type of story and like that type of storytelling really resonates with me a lot, of like just the underdog. It's very much like it's very much like they're boxing, but like it feels like independent pro wrestling in a way, which is so cool. And just the music score behind it is like, it's right up my alley with exactly the type of music that I like. So it's such a good show. And then the other one, my best friend Hannah put me on to actually was Erased. And I binge watched all of Erased, and like no bullshit, one day, one sitting, binge watched it, because I watched the first episode, and it was one of those shows where like very rarely a show will hook me where I'm like, nah, I gotta finish this like right now.
Yeah.
But it hooked me on the first episode where I was like, yo, this is the craziest idea ever for like some shit, and I've never seen something like this. So I've sat there and watched the whole thing. Oh, so good. If you've never seen Erased, you need to see it.
That's definitely one I need to add to my list for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely on my list.
A show that I think you would like, and I will preface this by saying, I would either be in at least a decent headspace when watching this show, or have something very cheerful to watch when you're done with it. Is a show called Ray Zero. It's like RE colon zero, like zero spelled out. Yeah, Caleb.
No, let me chime in real quick. Don't.
No, no, just as a clarification, I've not watched the show. I've just heard about the ending, and I'm like, oh fuck.
Yeah, the show's rough, but it's great.
No.
Go for it, Chichi.
You need to have a strong ass palate. Let me.
It's not that bad. It's not that bad.
It's not bad, but it will. There's some moments that will catch you off guard that will seem bad.
Oh no, there's a lot of like definitely implied. There's a lot of like real gore, and there's a lot of like implied gore. And it's not just like, oh, it's like a horror, like super gory show. It has a very unique concept. And the concept is done very well. And like people have done stuff like this before. But the moments that go kind of off the rails and get kind of crazy definitely don't shy away from going off the rails and getting kind of crazy.
I like that. I like that.
I definitely think you would enjoy it. It's got like some fantasy stuff in it. Oh, a lot of fantasy stuff. But the story is fucking crazy. I think it's very well done. It's easily one of the darkest shows that I've watched. But it's not like I said, it's not all dark. But the moments that are dark fucking hit. So that's why it stuck with me for so long. Let's get into Caleb. I'm gonna let you ask this fourth question. This was your question.
Yeah, so Doll, if you have learned any of this at all, what is the first Japanese word that you learned by watching anime?
Little controversial here. I've
Yes,
only ever
from
watched
wrestling.
dubbed. I've never watched
Okay,
dubbed.
fair enough. Fair enough.
Episode's over. No, we're done.
Oh,
Hey,
shit.
listen.
They're throwing us off the air.
I'm a little dumb, so it's hard for me to read while also paying attention. So like,
Fair enough, yeah.
it's hard for me to like watch sub
Did
stuff.
she
Like, when
leave?
it comes to anything. Because Tenshi, come back. I'm sorry.
So no, I fully understand that though, because there's a couple times where I'll watch a show and I'll just watch it dubbed because like, as much as I know I could probably like focus on what is being typed out, sometimes you just kind of want to like let the voices tell you the story.
Yeah.
It's when I get so invested in it that I'm like, okay, I'm willing to like put in the extra effort for this.
I'm also very bad when I watch stuff with subtitles to where I'll be like I'll kind of be hyper focused on just the words and not what's going on, like the actual imagery that's happening on the show.
You're actually like missing what's going on.
Yeah, so like I feel like watching dubbed helps me be able to take in, like, I love taking in like the art and like everything about
I fully
that.
agree with that.
So like it's hard for me to like really pay attention to it.
Nah,
To a sub when it comes to like the length of that.
It's funny because I obviously seeing as how he left, we have the perfect 3-person dynamic when it comes to dub versus sub, because Tenshi's always going to be team sub. He has like his rare, like, you know, like Dragon Ball and like stuff like that, like that he doesn't mind.
Well, actually, I'm on both sides because for clarification on my end is like I use sub to learn Japanese because I also, like, you know, one day will love to live in Japan. You know what I'm saying? But I do agree with Dolt on the English dub one, because it is the art, it is the story, and it's how they build up into like get into this either romantic scene or plot twist scene or fighting scene. So it's like really both. And I like to watch the same anime. Like if I watch it in dub, I watch it in sub to like try to get the same emotion, try to get the same effect. But when I do try to watch sub, I do get stuck watching the sub. Like, shit, they're actually speaking so fucking fast.
Yeah.
I'm not even necessarily like team dub. I guess statistically I would be. But I'm the same thing like Dalt, and mine is kind of like, and this Dalt didn't say this, but this is another reason why I think dub works best for us. Is we are so we're very big multitaskers. And we will also be working on other shit while we're watching a show.
That's for true.
So I can't really do that if I have to be paying attention to the sub. Not to say I'm not watching the show, but it's much easier for me to still have context and look away for like 2 seconds to do something on this other screen and have the main show happening on my main screen. But also, like Caleb said, though, like if I'm really into a show, like I was really into, I still am into My Hero Academia, and you know, the dubs come out later than the sub episodes. I think it was season 5. Season 5 only had about the first half of the season in dubbed, and the second half was in sub, and the dubs weren't done yet. I was like, fuck it, bro. I'm gonna watch it in the sub because I'm hooked on this fucking story, and then I'm gonna rewatch it when the dub comes out.
I did the exact same thing.
So that's what I did.
I've had like 5 different animes that's happened to me that I've enjoyed it so much in the dub that I'm wanting to see where the story goes. So I'll just watch it in the sub.
But I will say, for the diehards that are like, oh, how dare you watch the dub? There are some really shitty dub jobs out there that, if it's that bad, I'll watch the sub instead. But for the most part, they're not nearly as bad as people. Well, some of them are fucking bad, but like of the good shows, they're done well. And then our last question for these set of questions for you before we get into the big business of the episode. Yeah. Who is your favorite anime character?
My favorite anime character is Kota Ibushi from Tiger Mask W.
Didn't
think I was gonna say that.
You rat bastard! There's nothing wrong with what.
That's awesome.
No. That's not the actual answer. I just wanted to fuck with y'all.
He went off.
The actual answer that's not wrestling is Junk Dog from Megalobox, who's the main character, also known as Joe. Whenever he gets his forged ID, that's like if I could like compare it to somebody in wrestling, he very much represents like John Moxley to me, if that makes sense. But like John Moxley from his first independent run before he signed with the Fed, he's so wacky. I love it. He's just very crazy, a little sporadic guy. You don't know what he's gonna do, but very smart and tactical type guy. So I love that character. I also very much so love the main character from Erased, Satoru. I love that main character from that from Erased as well. Like they're both very, very good to me. If we're counting cartoon, Zuko has always been like my spirit animal, if you will. But in terms of a character, like Zuko is the iciest motherfucker ever to me. And then Chucky Finster is the other one for me. Those are like my four when it comes to that.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Shout out to Zuko on the real.
Shout out
one
to
time.
Zuko, man.
Absolutely.
I got one
one
more
time in.
for adult real quick.
Go ahead.
So since you talked about Erase, there is an anime out there on Netflix. I think you would like. It's very smooth in the trailer, but then like it shows in the trailer like everything like gets somewhat fucked up. I don't know. I didn't see too much of it, but this anime movie is called Suzume. And I think, I think you might like that since you watch Erase.
Okay.
You guys are seeing that we really just got dealt on this podcast so that we could just drop recommends on it.
So I don't know if you guys have seen it. There was one that I didn't mention that like I guess I didn't really think it counted since it was more so a movie, not really a series. But now that I'm thinking about it, Motherfuckers is one of my favorite shit ever. Like that shit's so far. I don't know if you guys have seen Motherfuckers. But
I have no idea what that is.
Is that a bit or is that was actually called?
No. Like Motherfuckers is so fire. Like MFKZ, it's so fire. The trailer, like, hold on, I'll put it in the chat of the StreamYard. It's genuinely so fucking cool.
Oh my god, this looks amazing already.
This looks insane. This looks genuinely insane.
Oh my god, I want to watch this now.
The main character's voiced by it's on the tip of my tongue. Oh, Vince Staples. Vince Staples is the
I love Vince Staples.
So in the
Danny fucking Trejo, what the fuck?
Danny Trejo. RZA is in it as well. Like it's very fire. John Carlo's in it. I don't know how to say the last name. I always fuck that up.
Esposito.
Yeah, there's so many dope motherfuckers that are in this shit. Like, and it's such a mind-bending fucking movie. Like, it's so good. Motherfuckers is definitely up there for me too. Oh wow, I can't believe I forgot about that. Holy
That's
shit.
crazy. Nah, honestly, now that you're saying it, I feel like I've seen the trailer for that. Because I definitely remember seeing that character and being like, "Oh shit, Vince Staples is in this." But I think I just retained so much it just got thrown out.
Because it's been a very long time. Because it was on Netflix and I saw it. I was like,
that's how I watched it. Was on Netflix.
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna check this out. Never got to it.
Oh
It's
shit,
so
man.
good.
Again though, Tenshi, goddamn fucking king of segues. Talking about Netflix. There's something that was just recently on Netflix that all four of us watched. and all four of us got some pretty strong feelings about it. We're gonna talk about. It is our main topic of today's episode.
Yep.
Avatar: The Last Airbender on Netflix.
So
Oh,
I want to go and
I love
I
Tenchi's
want to go and
face.
preface. Yeah, I want to go and preface my opinion as a show on its own, as an entire show on its own. A solid 9 out of 10 for me.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
I enjoyed it. I very much enjoyed it as a show on its own.
All right,
Once we get into the nitty gritty of anything,
we'll just go numbers, and then all right, here's a good exercise. We'll state our numbers, we'll talk about what we liked and didn't like, and then we'll
Mhm.
restate our numbers if this conversation has changed at all. Dalton, I'm gonna
Okay.
throw to you. Just off rip, what would
Okay.
you give this a number rating?
I'm kind of like Caleb. If I didn't have any knowledge about Avatar: The Last Airbender, the show, prior to as just a Netflix thing, I probably would have given it like an 8, honestly, like an 8 out of 10. But knowing Avatar, I kind of bring it down to a little bit of a 5. I'm not gonna lie, a solid 5.
I'm definitely in a similar pocket. If it was just like, oh, this is just a Netflix thing, that's not based off of something from my childhood, I'd probably give it like 7.5 or an 8. But because I do have like pretext for this show, fucking drops it way down. I don't even know what my official number would be, account like how I actually feel about it. But I can say, if I took away shit from before, uh it'd be a 7.5. Tenchi, just give me a number. Don't give me like mega thoughts yet, because we're gonna give like a spoiler warning before we
we're,
get into those. Just give me a number.
yeah,
Just give me a
we're gonna
number right
take
now.
time on that one.
4.5.
Oh, I fucking love it, bro. I fucking love it. All right.
It's this. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Hold on. I just want to say real quick, if you have not seen Avatar on Netflix, or if you haven't seen Avatar: The Last Airbender at all, first of all, what the fuck are you
Yeah,
doing?
go
Uh,
go watch it now. Pause this
second of
episode, put
all,
it on the back burner. Go watch both of those, then come back here.
Yeah,
right.
guapo. Tell me you ain't never seen Avatar before.
um,
Crazy.
right
Or,
now,
or
go
what
ahead.
I'll do probably in the edit later, put a time code down. Skip to that time code. We'll get the final thoughts in, and then we'll finish up the episode.
So right now, if you don't want to be spoiled on anything Avatar: The Last Airbender, we'll have a time code up on to where we skip to our non-spoiler final thoughts. But this is your warning right now. We about to get into this shit. Um so you know what? Dalt, since you're our guest, I'm gonna let you go first. What was like your feelings sort of going into the show? Like,
Going into so Avatar, like I said earlier, is one of my favorite things ever. When it got announced that they were gonna do this live action series, coming off the heels of the Cowboy Bebop live action Netflix show, I was like, oh, here you go. I was like, there ain't no way, and the adult means no way that this shit's gonna go smooth. But I was very optimistic about it because it's Avatar, and I love Avatar, and I want more
Mhm.
Avatar things to be out there merchandise wise. So I was gonna support it regardless. And plus, there's gonna be more animated Avatar stuff coming out, so I wanted to support it and watch the whole thing. So that way we get more Avatar stuff in the later game of this. You got to be a big brain thinker with it. So when it came to the actual show, when it came out, I was like, time to binge watch. And immediately I was like, the initial thought I had 2 minutes into episode 1 was, it's better than M. Night Shyamalan's.
that's true.
That's
That
the
all
number
right.
one
Hold
Yeah.
on,
thought.
Tenchi. I'm throwing you on the spot right now because I see your face. Can you at least say that this was better than the movie? Can you at least say that?
Oh, 100%. Yes. Yes, I can.
Okay, all right. See, I was like, we're all in
If
agreement on that. That it was
if
better.
we all if we're all in agreement that the live action show is about at a 5.5, the M Night Shyamalan is like a 0.5, if not -20.
Yeah, that
Nah,
shit was
bro,
bad.
it's negative a ton. They didn't even get his name right.
Didn't
They
even
didn't
get his
get
Okay,
his
name
yeah,
Oh,
okay.
name
right.
fuck
right.
his tongue.
-20. Negative infinity.
Hi, I'm
They
I'm
got
so
Cisco saying his name.
Motherfucking
Song, man.
but they
Yeah,
they
like
can
that.
but they can say guitar right. Really? Really?
That was definitely like my initial thought, like going into it was like, wow, this is way better than M. Night Shyamalan. But however, like the initial thought, besides like comparing it to that, because I already felt like it was gonna be better than that, was the action scenes in this are incredible. Some of the
They
best
are.
shit ever, I think.
Yeah.
They're so good. Like the action scenes alone is something where I'm like, yo, you should watch this because the CGI on the bending is so cool. Like
It is
it
pretty good, yeah.
genuinely looks dope as hell. That's probably my favorite shit from this is the way that they did the bending and things of that nature. Do you want like my like initial thought that's like negative as well?
Sure, yeah, go for it. Lay it all out, bro.
They fucked my boy Sokka up completely when it
Yeah.
came to his whole story, man. Because like I get it, you don't want Sokka to be like he was in the show where he was very mean about women, this, that, and the third. However, if you watch the actual show, it's because he grows into realizing I'm dumb as hell. That's what makes the whole Kyoshi Warriors thing such a pivotal moment in the show. Is
Oh,
he
don't even get me
learns,
fucking
hey,
started on
I'm
that shit.
dumb. Exactly. Like it blows my mind how much they fuck Sokka up because I feel like Sokka played such, especially in season 1 of the show. He played in the cartoon. He played such a pivotal role in that season where he really sets up so much. He's probably the most pivotal character aside from Aang in season 1 in my opinion in
Yeah.
the show. So like to see how they fucked his shit up the entire time, I was like, wow. Like granted it didn't like it didn't affect it too much to the point where it was unwatchable to me, the Netflix
No,
show,
it
but it
didn't.
was definitely one of those things where I'm like, I don't really like that. And then like the second negative thing was once I saw that there was only 8 episodes before even watching, I'm like, this is doomed to fail because there's no way you can fit that much content into just 8 1-hour episodes. Like it's
So
impossible. You're gonna fail.
so when me and my wife actually watched it, we actually did a time of it and everything of like how long all the episodes are. The timing actually matches up to where they were actually under the initial show, even season 1. They were under the
Really?
time. Yes, like they could have fit
Wow.
a whole other episode in with what we calculated.
That's
But
crazy.
at least that's what I'm
Holy
pretty sure. I can double check while we're talking about it, but I'm
no,
pretty sure. Like,
that's a crazy statistic. I would never even thought about that. Wow. That's wild. Yeah, like so it's one of those things too where like, I mean, if I want to just get even more into my negative thoughts about the show, I think
mhm.
Aang grew into the role by episode 8, but those first episodes acting wise was so fucking rough.
So
Like how
nah,
Zuko
bro,
says
hold on.
that's rough, buddy.
Hold on.
That's rough, buddy.
I'ma just go ahead and just say it, bro. Aang in this show is the biggest fucking crybaby, bro. Oh my god. And
And he
and
was
I
never
under
a
Yeah.
clone.
and it's like I understand why you would come at it from that perspective. It's like it's a fucking 12-year-old kid that just realized that he's got literally the weight of his shoulder of the world on his shoulders right now, and he's gonna deal with it. So much about this show is done, I feel like just for the sake of changing shit up, and there's no real reason of why shit gets changed. Digi's gone, bro. Digi's fucking gone.
Yeah. Yeah, Tenchi's out. Tenchi is out.
Bro, like, there's so much shit that they change just for like and this is super picky, but I don't give a fuck. This is one of my favorite shows ever. Why the fuck can this dude just fly? Like that
Thank you.
opening scene of him just flying around. I was like,
Thank
that
you.
is not how airbending works. It is
Thank
air
you.
manipulation. Obviously, he can like mega jump and shit, but he shouldn't just be able to fucking fly without
Thank
his
you.
fucking
Yeah.
glider at least.
That's what
Like,
I was gonna talk
brother
about.
literally is just like fucking Peter Pan flying around in this bitch. And it's like,
Mhm.
bro,
I'm a
why?
real
Like
boy.
what the bro? It's like, what the fuck is this? And then,
Mhm.
bro, and then that was my biggest thing was Aang. Just overall, they fucked up Aang so bad in the early bits of the show, and he was so fucking unlikable to where I was like, bro, this is supposed to be like I know Sokka is like the real comic relief, but
Mhm.
Aang is supposed to be a fucking funny like happy-go-lucky character, and that's like a character flaw for him early in is that he's not taking it seriously enough. And
Mhm.
This dude is just fucking mopey all the time.
He's
Like,
just a mopey,
bro,
broody ass
no,
bitch.
he's just a broody ass bitch.
Oh yeah. For how bad though, on the contrary, for how bad I felt about Sokka and also Aang, I really do feel like Katara was perfect though, and Zuko. I feel
I
like
think
they both
Katara
were
and Zuko
very
were well
good.
done. Yeah, Katara and
Yeah, I
Zuko
think
were
both of
well
them.
done.
So this is the question that I have, like in terms of just characters of how you felt like they were, because I have a very like I'm kind of wishy-washy on it. How do you feel
Mhm.
like Iroh was done? Because I feel like that was kind of I don't know. I didn't really like it too much. I didn't hate it, but I didn't like it.
Tenchi or Caleb, you guys want to? Which y'all want
I'll
to attack?
go.
Tenchi.
I'll
I'm
go
gonna let
first.
You
Tenchi.
go let
I'm
Tenchi
gonna let
go.
Tenchi spit on this
So
one.
from seeing the trashy live action one to this one, I would say I like this one more because the person who played Iroh to me was spot on because I could compare his character to the animated character. Like his character didn't do as much as the one in the animated series, but for
Mhm.
this one, it was like he did do a little like a little less, but like he did it in a different way.
Mhm.
And it was just all of the wisdom words he would say, and then like the little riddle words he will like say towards Zuko, or that one conversation he had with Aang and when Aang was captured by Zuko. So I would say I definitely love this one from the shitty one that
The
was
one we
like,
will no longer talk about.
yeah, the
Yeah.
one that Arrow was trying to look big and bad, and I'm like it's just an old
The
dude
Iroh
who,
with dreads
yeah.
is
Yeah.
what
Dreadlock Iroh machine.
Dreadlock guy.
But I would say I love this live action Iroh, only because
Mhm.
I
like there's like little less and but there was like little similarities in a different way he did it.
Yeah.
Hold
I
on, I'm
feel
gonna
like
hold on.
oh,
I'm
go ahead.
gonna let Caleb cook real quick, and then because Dalt, I think me and you are gonna say the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let Caleb give
Uh,
his thoughts, and then we're gonna go back to Dalt.
Out of all the comparison of the character, because me and I went and binged the entire series after I watched season one. Comparing season one Iroh to season one in the anime was or animation was it's it's not on point. I'll go and say that it's not on point, but I can see where Tenshi's coming from. Where it's like he hits the notes of what he needs to do in a different flow of getting to it,
mhm.
but it's so off putting enough that you're like, okay, they got there, but they didn't get there in a way that made a lot of sense.
Yeah,
Is the best way I can describe it.
yeah.
Um, Dalt, I'm
I
gonna let
like
you.
I just I don't know. In the same vein of what I said earlier of Sokka, I feel like was one of the most pivotal roles for the good guys, if you will,
Hmm.
of the season one. I feel like so much of Zuko's character growth happens because of the type of character Iroh is. And
Mhm.
I felt like Iroh got to hear, but he needed to be like here when
Yeah,
it came to stuff. Like Tenshi said, it was very good what he was doing, but it wasn't enough to where like I don't feel like Zuko fully got any of the shit, you know? Like there's
Mhm.
yeah,
obviously key moments we know that will happen in the coming seasons with this, but like I don't feel like those moments are going to hit as hard because like the wisdom that he should have passed off to Zuko, he hasn't had the opportunity to say yet. I will say one of my favorite scenes was Aang and Iroh talking to one another. I thought that was
oh yeah,
incredible. I thought that
that
was
was
like
Mhm.
the
great.
best moment.
Mhm.
It really was.
Nah, facts. I'm very much in the same boat where um and then I'll even throw this in. I think the dynamic between Iroh and Zuko was like one of the things that they did pretty well.
Oh yeah,
And like showing, they added in some kind of like backstory scenes to show like how Zuko and Iroh ended up in this position
hmm
I
and
love that. That was
why
great.
that stuff was dope. But I don't think in the animation, Iroh is such a clear beacon of hope, even though he's on the wrong side. He is such a
yeah,
Yeah.
clear beacon of goodness and hope. And I feel like the Iroh in the Netflix show is in more of a gray area, which like maybe that was
Yeah.
by design. And if that was by design, I can't really fault them for it because I guess, props
Hmm.
for going about it in a little bit of a different way. I just don't think Zuko is in such a dark place of hatred and being hurt that he needs a white light to make his turn. And I don't think he's gonna make that turn as properly with this gray light instead of the white light. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I fully understand that.
I wasn't really fucking with Iroh. I was like y'all said, I definitely think he was much better than the fucking M. Night Shyamalan fucking Iroh.
Yeah, yeah,
And
absolutely.
I think there was enough of OG Iroh in there to hit the beats that we need to. But overall, I was like, man. I think the
Something
actor
that
did a good job.
I felt like in terms of like initial thoughts with the show too was I liked, like I said, like I love the action sequences, and I think the action scenes are where they got really in their bag on this show. But
Hmm.
I felt like they took way too much time in the first episode on the initial Fire Nation attack. Like I felt like it was 70 to 85% of that episode. I felt like, or at least
Yeah.
it felt like it definitely wasn't, but like
It
it
dragged
felt
on
like
like a
it.
motherfucker.
Yeah, and I'm like, "Can we get to the iceberg? Can we get to that, please? Like,
What a
can we
berg
Yeah.
can we see
at?
bro?"
What a
Yeah,
berg.
they were showing way too
There,
much of
there.
backstory that they didn't show in the animation. Because like when I first saw it, I thought it was cool, but then I'm like, oh, we need to go. We need to go.
Yeah.
I will say too, like thinking about it in terms of like initial thoughts, I think Appa looks great, by the
Appa
Yo,
way,
looks
like
great.
in
Appa
this.
looks
Appa looks
Yeah.
Opera,
fantastic.
Opera,
Momo
fantastic.
Momo.
too.
God.
Yeah.
Whew, that's all I
All,
So
care.
all
like,
honestly, all the creatures look very good in my opinion.
yeah,
They all look
Hold on,
they
great.
look awesome.
this is a small jump to the end, and then obviously we can very easily round back. Did they kill
Yeah.
my fucking guy Momo?
I don't think so. Hang on.
Yeah,
I don't think they did.
I also thought that with the show too. Like I would like to give them the benefit of the doubt that they didn't do that, but I did like yeah, it very much looked like that to me.
I don't even like that they're like toying around with that idea. Like
Yeah.
even if we come back to like season 2 and he's fucking fine, like I just don't even like that y'all are even putting that on the table that he might be dead. It's like
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's kind of
I
crazy.
would have to watch it back and everything. I don't think they did, but I would have to look back at it.
Well, he's definitely like hurt and
Hmm.
like fucked up, but like and they very much leave it up to like, oh, he's probably not dead. But like I just don't
Yeah.
even like why. I just don't
Yeah.
even know why. Like I don't know,
Like, why even
man.
chance it?
I
Yeah.
don't know, man.
Can I?
Yeah.
Can I?
Going on what y'all were.
Oh, go
Go
ahead,
ahead,
go ahead.
Tenshi.
No. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, going on like with the Iroh stuff and the backstory stuff. It's like I'm okay with the backstories being told at certain points. I feel like their pacing with the backstories and the timing of when they put them in was just a tad bit off in certain times and way off in
Yeah.
others. Like,
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
don't feel like we needed the backstory of like what happened to the Airbenders before we even met Aang or Katara and Sokka meeting Aang.
Yo,
Dog.
that was so wild,
I
by like
don't think we
that.
needed that.
So I'm on the other side of that though. I'm on the complete other
Okay.
side where like I didn't really like any of I didn't like a lot of the backstory stuff, but I will say in comparison to the show, if they would
Yeah.
have like, and when I say show, I mean the cartoon, if they would have
Mhm.
shown like the way that the Fire Nation destroys the Airbenders is
Yeah.
so fucking
Okay.
nuts that it
Okay, so the
immediately
way
makes you want to
showing them
root
how
for
to do
them.
it, or the way showing how they did it, yes, I would absolutely love to have seen that as well. It's just like the
Mm-hmm.
positioning of it being at the very beginning of the show was
Yeah,
a little weird
that's
for me.
fair. I like
I
I honestly like I would have been cool if they would have waited until like Aang really
went to
like
the temple.
yeah, like that I think
Yeah.
would have been a perfect way of doing it. Yeah.
I that was
Mhm.
one of my big things was like because I know that they're like I think you're the last airbender. Like I know they say that, but to have it just exposition dumped on him that like, hey, all of your fucking
Yeah.
kind got wiped out. I feel like that makes the scene where he's in the air temple and sees all the bodies and then goes into avatar state. I feel like that lessens it so much because
Yeah.
Absolutely.
because that was the reason why. It's because at first they're like, oh yeah, we just haven't seen airbenders in a long time. And then he's like, okay, well, they could still be alive. Maybe they're just in there fucking hanging out,
Yeah.
fucking whatever. I don't know. The fact that she's just like, oh yeah, them Fire Nation fucking wiped all y'all motherfuckers out. You the last one. And it's just dropped on them like that. It's like, why? Why is it just a throwaway
So-
line, bro?
Going on to that, why
Hold on,
does
hold on.
all of the background, what is all the like backstory knowledge of like what's happened over the last 100 years fall on the grandmother?
And she's such a bitch.
She's
Why
such a
is
bitch.
she treating them like that?
She's such a bitch,
so
bro.
cold-hearted.
It's crazy.
Like-
Yo, I literally wrote that down. I said they
There's-
fucked up Grand. I said they fucked up
like-
Grand.
Man.
There's like 4 different sources of history information in the actual animated show that they opened up the world with, and y'all closed it off to one singular person that's a fucking bitch.
And
And
then
she's
she-
like, cold-blooded, looks in this little boy's eyes and goes, yeah, all your people, they're dead.
They're
It's up to
fucking
you.
gone.
You're dumb. Why'd
They're
you run away,
cooked.
you dummy?
they got barbecued because of yo bitch ass. Like,
No! Fuck.
Yeah, like she was,
Fourth of
she was,
July, this bitch.
she was definitely dry in this show compared to the animated one. The animated one, she was more lively in this one.
Yeah.
and then
Like
I,
she was hard. Like she welcomed Aang into the home. The only one who was a hater was literally Sokka. Almost
I
called him
think
Sokka.
I also think it's crazy that too, bro. That was what this is one of my overarching things as a whole for the show. This show feels so, and this is a direct comparison, and I'll fully admit that, but I don't give a fuck. This show feels so lifeless and not fun in comparison to the cartoon. And I know, like, it's a cartoon, so obviously they can
Mhm.
fucking be a little more like, haha, whatever. But like, there is no joy in any of this fucking story
Yeah.
except for like when they absolutely have to have it. Like
Yeah.
that scene where Aang comes to the village and they're like, oh my fucking god, Aang, you're so cool. Like, that's a cool ass scene. And then like it's this complete opposite. It's like, who the fuck is this dude? This motherfucking op. Why the fuck is he here? Fire Nation gonna come here. All your fucking friends and mentors got burnt to a crisp because you left like a little bitch. And like that's so fucked up. It's so wrong, bro. It's so
Is it-
wrong.
So, can I break it down why I gave it a 4.5?
Go for
Yeah.
it, bro.
It's literally all of the small details. Like it's the small and big details, but it's mainly like the small. Yeah, so basically, it's small and big details during each scene.
Mhm.
Let me just break it down. Let's stay in the beginning. I agree with everyone by saying with everyone saying like this, like it was cool, but it wasn't needed. It definitely should have fit better when he went to the air temple, and we get that flashback, and everyone's getting murked. That would make more sense.
Just to interrupt real quick, could you imagine the scene flow of him coming in, seeing Gyatso's corpse? They flash back. They show the airbenders fucking getting murked. They flash forward to him having that breakdown right after they just showed how they got murked. Then Avatar State. That would have
Yep.
been such a fire ass order of ways to have that laid out. And they just have it fucking scattered all over the place to where it doesn't make any sense. Keep going, Tenshi. I'm
Mhm.
Yeah.
sorry. I just need to
No,
make that
you-
like a point.
No, you're good. You're good. Where the fuck was the penguin sliding?
The penguins, bro. You want to go penguin
Yeah.
slide? That's the first thing he says to her. You go
The penguin
sliding
sliding
with me?
leads into them finding the Fire Nation ship. They just walked into the bitch.
Yeah.
Where was the penguin sliding? Where?
That like, oh man, there was just like that I think is derivative of what we were talking about earlier when it comes to Aang's character. Like Aang in this show in general is so good because it is a fun show that has some of the most dramatic moments you will ever see in it, like what was supposed to be a kids show. Like it was the show that was always much darker in tone, but at the same time, it genuinely wasn't. It was almost 85% a comedy show during
Yeah.
the majority of the bits, but then it was those one or two conflicts that would pop up in an episode along with the overarching theme of the show, where it was like it made Aang and them have to buckle down. But for 80% of the episode, they were vibing for real. Like it wasn't really a crazy, like dramatic thing. But when the drama happened, that's what made it good. Was that boom, you have the funniest shit happening, but then all of a sudden, boom, you have a very dark thing that just popped off. One of the perfect episode examples of that, I feel, is if you go back and watch the animated episode of the King Boomy episode, and you watch the episode in the actual show that from Netflix, it's insane to me how it doesn't match at all in tone or any of that shit. Like,
Bro,
how do
hold
you
on.
fuck up Boomy?
They
Hold
could have
on. So
gave
I'm
him.
a
They could have gave him an item to make his eye big like this. They could have done that.
Yeah.
They could
so
have
hold on.
CGI'd it, made him a little buffer. Go ahead, Bo. If I keep talking, man.
So I have episode by episode like notes. Like some quick
Shit.
shit that
Okay.
we'll get back to, but like we're about to go in on Boomy. So episode 2 is when they go to Kyoshi Island. Sokka and
Mhm.
Suki's chemistry is weird as fuck. We'll get back to that. Episode 3, that's when they meet like Jet and all them and fucking are they in fucking Bossing Say?
Yeah,
Or
they're a boss
Omashu. They're
say.
in
Yeah.
Omashu.
Oh
Almost,
yeah, no,
almost. Yeah.
They're in
Almost.
Omashu. Love Jet. Love Jet and all of his crew. Jet and all his crew, I feel like they're very well done.
They were the
Episode
best
4.
on that episode.
I'm about to read you this shit right now. Episode 4. So much forced dialogue and exposition. There is no charm in anything. And then I literally just write, dog, they fucked up Boomy. In all caps, they fucked up Boomy. Boomy is one of the best fucking characters in the animated show. And his entire and it's not even like an arc, but it's like a couple episodes long of like his whole shit of like they introduced to the Earth King, and then fucking he puts fucking Sokka and Katara in the fucking rock candy, and he's like, "Hey, bro, your friend's about to get fucking swallowed up by this shit if you don't figure out my fucking riddle, dog." And like he was so serious, and then as soon as Aang figures out the shit, and then he just fucking flips because that was the whole setup. And they just have a great time. And he's like, hey, man, I'm your fucking best friend from back in the day. I'm glad to see you're alive. I'm glad you're back. Let's fucking take it to the firebenders, bro. This motherfucker, they completely get rid of the shit where he's like trying to do like the oh, who the fuck am I? They completely get rid of all the riddles and shit. And you immediately find out it's Boomy. And then once you find out it's Boomy, fucking Boomy is a bitter ass old man who basically hates this guy.
Mhm.
And it emphasizes that point that we said earlier about how there is no charm and everything is so fucking just gloomy and sad. And like I feel like that finally would have helped Aang like, you know, be a little more childlike and upbeat like how he is in the show if they had left Boomy alone how he is. But the fact that they fucked Boomy up so bad to where he's genuinely just a different character entirely is oh my
Yeah.
god, bro.
Yeah.
Oh my god, bro.
Yeah.
Someone take off, bro. Someone take off.
They didn't even give the flash. They didn't even get the. I don't think to me because I wasn't paying attention because I was getting pissed. I was like, man, forget this episode because I don't know if they show the backstory of when Boomy was a kid with Aang and they're sliding down the little those delivery tracks and having fun and shit. It was just like all fighting, and then what happened next? Nothing happened. It was just
So
like
like I will say they did have some flashbacks of him and Boomy. I don't remember
I
exactly if they
I
did
I don't think they
the
had
trash
the
shoot,
card thing.
which is like that's one of the main
That's what
things
was
though.
Yeah.
That's one of
but
the main things.
when they're getting to when they're getting in to Omashu, they fuck up the cabbage man, and he
They
did
fucked
not
up.
say the lines.
Wait, didn't he? I thought he said. I could have swore he did.
So they build up to it, but the delivery is so
Uh,
like whatever. And I
Yeah,
get
I remember now.
they intentionally have him not say it the first time because they're building up to it. But by the time he actually gets to it, it's like so whatever. And it's like, damn, dude, like
Yeah.
you made me wait the whole episode for the fucking cabbage line, and then you just
Maybe
don't
wait a
put your
fucking
whole
hour for this
fucking
shit.
chest into that shit, bro. Come
Mhm.
on, man. Come on, man.
'Cause I will agree with Caleb 100%. They did phenomenal on the CGI with the creatures. They did. But let's go back further. Let's go to Kyoshu Island. Let's go there.
Oh,
Let's
yeah,
go
yeah,
there real quick.
yeah. Let's head on back.
Yeah, let's head on back now.
Why
Yeah.
why is this dude having a full conversation with Kyoshi when she just gives him the backstory about why she did what she did to the other dude? That she did try to save his life, but he fell in with this and Nintendo 64 WWF stance, and he was accepting his fate. He fell. But she's like talking down to Aang, telling him like putting a lot of more stress onto him, knowing this dude is a kid. But they didn't do that in the anime show because she got straight into the flashback and told him that I will aid you to prove that you're innocent. So when Aang had put on the Kyoshi warrior armor, Kyoshi comes in and she announced and she tells everyone because they were about to kill Aang, she tells them that I killed the dude, but I tried to save him from falling, but he wanted to die, basically. But she's having a whole conversation, belittling him, giving him all the stress, knowing this dude is 12 years old, saying that he cannot have friends, like he has to do this by himself when he know he can't.
Hold on, bro. I'm tagging in.
Go ahead.
Because they
Hot tag.
changed Aang Aang's dialogue with all of the past avatars in the original show is you have to kill the Fire Lord, right? And that's such a great like conflict for Aang's character because at that point he's accepted I'm the avatar, this is my duty, this is what I have to do. But he doesn't want to fucking kill anybody because he's just not that's not who he is as a person. He don't even
Mhm,
really want to fucking fight motherfuckers, but he's fully accepted that he has to do that at this point, but he
mhm,
doesn't want to cross that line and kill anybody. So that's the dialogue that he normally has with these past avatars. Is like they're like, bro, you got to kill him, and he's like, but I
mhm,
don't want to kill him. They're like, bro, you got to kill him. Why did they shift the dialogue to, oh, you can't have no fucking friends, bro? You can't have no fucking friends. Like that's such a weird it's such a
Yeah.
weird shift that I genuinely I can't defend that point at all because it makes no fucking sense. You're telling me
Yeah.
Yeah.
none of the avatars had friends or allies or fucking families? Like obviously it's that role of like you're the avatar, people around you are going to be in danger, but like that's just the fucking job. Like why is the
Yeah.
dialogue you have to do this by yourself? You don't get no fucking friends. You're fucking 12 years old. You got to figure it out right now. You little shit. Like what?
mhm.
Why is
Also,
that? And then
oh, go ahead.
real quick, I don't like that they changed, and I get that this is probably implied with the earlier shit. I don't like that they make Avatar state to where it's just, oh yeah, this past Avatar is just taking over Aang's body real quick. Like like some real like Avatar shit, like switching, and
Mhm,
it's
Yeah.
like they're just gonna use his body for a second, go do some shit. That wasn't what it originally was. He was
No.
drawing back on their experiences, but that was Aang doing the shit though. So why is
mhm,
it
Yeah.
just that, oh nah, Kyoshi's just gonna borrow Aang's body real quick and do the shit? Bro, this is the episode when I was like, okay, they're just fucking up everything. Because
Yeah.
so much and then like Dot was saying earlier, this is the shit where like I was like, oh, they're fucking up Sokka, they're fucking up Avatar State. Why is Kyoshi being a giant bitch to Aang? Like
exactly.
Yep.
She's walking around him in circles, and I'm like, you're supposed to guide him. You're supposed to
but she
help him.
yelling at him, bro. She's like berating him.
Yep. And another it's actually two details. When they first get to the village, Katara well, technically this would be three. Katara was supposed to be jealous because remember when Aang got to Kyoshi Island
Yeah.
and like he had like the fame from the little girls, Katara was
Mhm.
supposed to be jealous. Where the fuck was Angie?
Not Angie.
And then he was gonna show them, he was gonna show him like tricks in the water. Boom, there's the sea creature. Where the fuck was the sea creature?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that one was the craziest one to me. Like they completely skipped that fight. Like, and that was one of the first ones where like it going back to like the point Bo was making about the like how they fucked up the avatar state and like how they fucked up the dialogue of like Aang doesn't want to kill people. He didn't want to ever kill the creatures either. And that was like a big thing that gets shown in that fucking battle against the sea creature was like he didn't want to have to do that. And like that was a big pivotal thing where like that's when Team Avatar really understands, oh shit, he doesn't want to kill anybody. Like that's when Sokka understands, yo, you got to actually try to, but Aang didn't want to do that. And that's like a pivotal moment in that never happens. And then like with the rest of that episode too of what you were talking about, Tenshi, with like Katara didn't like the jealousy angle of that wasn't there at all, which leads me to believe like I don't think I don't think they're gonna do any of the romance stuff with Katara and Aang when it comes to like
I don't think
how
so
deep
either.
it gets. Like when how
Hmm.
deep it gets by season 3. I I don't know if this is what they're gonna do, but I kind of had a
Well,
prediction coming out of the season 1.
considering Secret Tunnel was put in season 1 when it was in season 2 and it featured Sokka and Katara in it.
Yeah, that was weird. And then like a little prediction I have, I think they're gonna do Zuko and Katara as the relationship. I think that's what's gonna end up happening in
Oh
this
I
one
boy.
think
because
you're
that
right.
that was always a big fan thing back in the day.
Yeah.
Was like
It was.
it was
It,
either
it
were
still
you
is. It's
yeah,
still
were
a big
you
fan thing.
Aang and Katara or were you Zuko and Katara in terms of who you think should have ended up with who? And it's
Mm.
like with them not teasing hardly anything that I can notice in the show with Aang and Katara, I don't think they're gonna do that at all.
And
And I
and then
mean,
to double down on that, like later on in the season, Zuko and Katara have that one-on-one fight.
yeah,
And like I feel like that I very much feel like that was kind of like seed planting since they're not doing Katara and Aang. They're
yeah,
very obviously not doing Katara and Aang unless they like hard pivot in season
Oh
2.
yeah.
But they ain't do nothing in this first season to even try to hint at that at all. So I think you're right, and I think they're gonna lean towards Katara and fucking Zuko instead. Which like
Yeah.
I I
I
might have
ain't
read
mad
this
at it,
wrong.
but go ahead.
I was gonna say I might have read this wrong, but did anybody feel like Suki fell in love with Sokka way too goddamn quickly?
no,
Way
yeah,
too
no,
quickly!
yeah,
Way
and
too
I don't know,
quickly! And
yeah,
they're
Like,
fucking making out.
yeah, it didn't do like any good for that at all because like I felt like a big part of their character dynamic was that she never broke for him at all in season 1, which then led to him with the fishies in the moon. And then like that led to her being like, "Oh, I could have lost this guy." And that's what sparks it for her into being interested in him. This is a
Mhm.
multi-season thing that they said fuck it in episode 2. Like
and, and
like,
episode 2.
and it's like I feel like going back to what you were saying about Sokka's character, I feel like the introduction of Suki and obviously just like the Kyoshi Warriors in general was like, oh, this is the pivot point where Sokka starts to change his outlook on life and gender roles. And this is when he starts to be like the ideas introduced to his head that like maybe women aren't less than and like maybe women can be like incredible warriors, even better so than men. And like that's I understand why you would want to change that and maybe not have Sokka be saying that shit. But that it's not like he's saying that shit and then that's just what he always thinks. They say that shit because it's character development for him
mm-hmm.
and he
Mhm.
changes. He changes his mind, he changes his outlook. And then him and Suki, like, obviously he has a thing for Suki, but like
Yeah.
that's not Suki's initial role. Her initial role is just to teach him that fucking women are powerful. And then
Yep.
that's the lesson that she leaves with him going forward.
She teaches
And
him how to
then
fight
right.
when his dad couldn't.
And it's like you said, I feel like it was weird that like him and Suki like had this thing and then he still and then fucking hooks up with the moon spirit girl. It's like
Now you just screw time.
Like
Now you just screw time
Sokka
piece
is
of
not
shit.
redeemable at all.
no.
Like they made
No.
him unredeemable because like Yeah, that's a brilliant fucking point. Is he never had the inch, like he didn't fuck up in the cartoon because he was never with her at that point. So
Yeah.
now,
Mhm.
yeah, what the fuck? I never even thought about that. What a dirty
Ah,
dog.
Because
Yeah,
like
bro.
the what because like what sparked like in the animated shit, my bad. In the animated series, they teased it because how Bo said Bo and Don't said about Sokka from the beginning. When they got in the anime series, when Sokka got to Kyoshi Warrior and he was like, man, I could take her. I could take her. She whooped his ass.
yeah.
Whooped his ass. That was
And
the
that was
very
just,
small that was a very small character development right there because he was like, "Oh
Mhm.
shit."
but it was such an important moment. It was such an
It,
important moment for his development. Yeah,
And then
crazy.
like there was because like I think this was them being a Kyoshi. I think there was like a two like 2 to 3. No, just 2 episodes.
Hmm.
Because like there was a moment where Suki blushed in the animated series, but they didn't like seal the deal.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
They like they teased it, and then one thing they did a little bit like very little bit different in the anime series, the Kyoshi Warriors like stood first, defending their island from the Fire Nation. Um, but in this one, they just let the Fire Nation like just walk through, saying, "No, we don't have no one here."
Nah,
Like,
it's
Yeah.
just crazy, bro. I don't know. They
I
fucked
think
it,
that
bro.
like I think that really sums up everything when it comes to like the over like that really is a great, once again, Tenchi, great segues, honestly. That's
thank you.
like a really good way of like wrapping into like the whole overarching thing of the show, because like what they do in terms of the technical side of the show is so fucking good. Like they're
Hmm.
very great with all the technical stuff. Like everything looks incredible. The CGI looks amazing.
When
The
Aang
sound.
when
Go ahead.
Aang goes like big water monster mode, like towards the back end, that shit looks
Yeah.
great, bro.
So
It really
like all
does.
of that is great, but they miss the soul and the heart of the show. And the little changes they decided to make fuck the dynamic for so many characters in this show, where I really feel like it all boils back to Sokka. I feel like Sokka's dynamic and his character being so overtly not sexist, essentially, it really hurts the show, because that is one of the most growing points that leads to him not being with Suki, with him not being like this type of person where Aang has to be like, hey, I have to be the overjoyous one because you're such a dickhead. So like
Hmm.
it just from the very beginning, I feel like that's the one key point that crumbles the rest of that dynamics. And then like with 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 Uncle Iroh not being like heavily involved with Zuko's stuff, I feel like that's the flip side of it, where like that's not really happening as much as it should be either. So that dynamic's gone. Uncle Boomy basically just not doing nothing in this one. It's kind of crazy to me that
It's just a
Boomy's
different
not doing
character
anything.
entirely. It's
Yeah.
a different
Yeah,
character entirely.
Also,
it
I just
all
remembered
boils.
this.
What was it?
So, Katara has no anger management issues at all in the live
Yeah,
action.
that was another big thing. Like
Like,
Aang's supposed
Aang
to
is
teach her.
Aang is supposed to be a calm, meditative monk that teaches Katara to calm down and go with the flow. They're supposed to have this anger management issue that has a whole lot of like, God, it's
Bro,
oh my
no,
god.
that is, oh sorry, hold on, I switched the wrong motherfucker. That is literally like the big word. That is the precipice of the entire show, because when Katara frees Aang from the fucking the ice block, is because Sokka said one wrong thing to piss her off, and she starts going crazy, fucking waving her arms around because she doesn't know how to control her powers that well yet, and then she's fucking up the fucking iceberg.
Sokka said something sexist, and Katara got pissed off.
Right,
That's the two things we're
exactly.
missing.
Y'all are fucking it up from the jump, bro.
And
Also,
it's all because they didn't want to do that with Sokka. And it's like, I
yeah.
get why in 2024 why you wouldn't want to do that, but
Yeah,
no, you need that because it redeems that type of person. It shows that, hey, you don't do this because they learned, so you shouldn't do it to begin with. Like you're
and
missing
Yeah.
that whole
and it's
thing.
not even like they're glorifying like Sokka being sexist. Everyone is like, Sokka, you suck, bro. Like literally
Yeah.
Yes.
everyone around him is telling him that
Everybody
he's
in
a
the show.
dickhead for thinking like this, and then he's like, damn, everyone was right. I was a giant dickhead. So like that's the lesson that you learn if you do think like that. That's the lesson that you learn watching him. Is that damn,
Mhm.
I was acting like a dickhead this entire time. Versus like just not even having it, and then now he's like two-timing women, bro.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Um,
Like crazy.
I didn't bring this one up, but I gotta bring this one up. This is so because we was talking about Jet and his crew, like phenomenal. Like they were to me
Yeah.
were the best one in that episode.
I think they nailed
Um,
Jet. I think they nailed Jet.
Yeah,
mhm.
Yeah.
I think I did too.
The kid's father, the guy in the
Mhm.
wheelchair. Where the
Yeah.
fuck is his eyeglasses or his eyeglass?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's the small detail. They got the hair right. They got the beard right. Where's the eyeglass? And then how they did it differently when they found out that the dude that they're helping build these things for him, they showed a scene where it was the little boy and who Sokka. It was the little boy and Sokka, and they was crouching over, I think, and they saw the father talking to a Fire Nation spy. And I'm like, that's not what happened because they go into the tower and Aang uses airbending, finds out what's inside behind that door number one. He's making weapons for the Fire Nation. And then Aang comes in busting with his staff saying, you're making weapons with the Fire Nation. And I'm like, boom, there it is. They didn't do that. It was like they dr- just they just did this. They just dragged it out.
So something that you just maybe inadvertently think about that's insane of something they did completely different in the Netflix adaptation.
Mhm.
Azula gets introduced she's rarely in the actual first season of
Bro,
the cartoon.
so
She doesn't
I
even
wrote
really in
I,
until season 2.
I wrote this down as a what episode did I write this down? Fuck. I wrote this down for one of my notes for one of the episodes. I was like, I'll find it in a sec, but I was like, this Azula fucking I was like, why is Azula having like a tournament arc that has nothing to do with any of the show? Why does
That
she have
shit
a
pissed me off.
Why does she have? That's what I said. I said, what is this Azula? What is this random Azula fight tournament arc bullshit? Where she's just
Yeah.
like going through training and fighting, beating the shit up out of her fucking masters just to
Mhm.
just to get off the fucking island. Like,
Yeah, because and also we all know Azula is like as a psychopath. We all know that. But she
Yeah.
Yeah.
does not show that when she first appears and when she goes into battle. She's very battle like leveled. Like she's very head level when it
She's
comes to battle.
level-headed.
Yeah. But in this series, why is she like wailing on her masters and her masters
just
saying,
like freaking out. Like she's got Katara's anger issues.
yeah. And I'm like, how y'all do things backwards? Like you got the like they got don't get me wrong, they got the story going in a right direction, but they're just doing it so differently to where it's like you're doing it all wrong in the wrong order. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't make any oh, and another thing. I did not like the face stealer.
Oh
Yeah.
man, see,
Yeah.
The only reason why I didn't like it is
no, go
because
ahead.
he had a psyche moment. A freaking psyche moment talking to what's his name? What's his name from the Air Temple?
Gyatso.
Gyatso. He is talking to Gyatso in a like a home. And they're having a very like long discussion saying, I'm not mad at you. Gyatso didn't say that in anime series. He just like when he said he technically said it, but like he said it in different ways to where like saying it's not your fault. This man Gyatso didn't even have any emotions to like keep a straight smile to me. There wasn't even a smile. It was like a forced smile. And he was like, I'm not disappointed in you. Go
Bro,
save the
hold on.
world.
Real quick, I wrote down for episode 5. So I was like, I wrote "Spirited Away!" exclamation point question mark because like shout out to the
Yeah.
Spirited Away love, like that's fire.
Right.
Um, I wrote like I was like, okay, this episode actually had some of that classic feel because it starts off with them like running from fucking Fire Nation. They're in the middle of an adventure
Yeah.
running from Fire Nation. But this is the one of the only times this entire show that I feel like they got the feeling right of like these kids on this fucking adventure fucking
Mhm.
beating the shit out of these grown ass adults. just because they're good like that. But I wrote down, I said face stealer is cool looking and gross, but not built up at all, and Aang should have got his face took.
Yeah.
Oh, that's another thing. The build, like as you said, the build up to that to Face Stealer. Where the fuck was the Moon Princess? Like that one scene, y'all, you know what I'm talking about. That shit creeped me the fuck out as a
Yeah.
child. That shit made me so scared. Uh, Kataro's chasing her mother. She was trying to find her mother in the forest, and then Sokka was chasing the princess, and Aang was chasing somebody that led him to the Face Stealer. So I'm like, where was all that in that scene? Because I didn't feel creeped out. I just felt like, oh, it's like another movie. Okay. I didn't
Yeah.
get that feel. And that's another thing. They didn't make Katara like, and I'm not saying it's wrong to be obsessed about their mother, but they didn't make her what am I looking for? Like they didn't make her like, yeah, she wants to be happy, like she like wants to be happy all the time, but like when her like it's like when her mother, gets brought up and stuff like that, because they don't necessarily talk about the necklace as much in the
They
series.
don't talk about the necklace.
No,
It's yeah, it's
no, they
way
don't.
it's way less pivotal of a plot point than I feel
Yeah,
like it should be. Yeah.
and and then my biggest gripe is I don't think Grand should have showed her the Water Tribe bending scroll. That one got on my nerves.
Yeah.
They
No,
fucked
That
that
up
made
that
me
Grand
that
Grand, bro.
that's what came to my mind. That that goes back to the grandmother. Why does she have every single bit of fucking story just with her? Katara stole
Grand
that scroll
Grand
from the
Right.
fucking pirates.
Grand
Then
Grand
it
Grand, and
backfired on them.
I meant to say this earlier, and I forgot. Grand Grand literally is just the exposition machine because
Yeah.
Grand Grand literally delivers the intro from the animated show that Katara says. She literally just reads like some shit on a wall and like literally just says that to Aang, and it's the cringiest shit ever. I
It
get
is.
like
Yeah.
it doing a callback, but you are when you're writing dialogue, you're supposed to hide exposition as best as you can so that it feels like real conversation. And they didn't give a
Yeah.
fuck. They're just like, all right, Grand
No.
Grand goes into exposition mode and gives Aang the backstory of the world.
It, oh man, dude. It like that is one of the craziest things about the whole show is just like the way that they try to use the cartoon as material always comes off as they literally just said, "Okay, copy, paste." With nothing else. Like
Mhm.
they don't interpret it at all. And when they try to, they completely change everything about something. We mentioned Jet earlier. I think Jet's the only case in the first season where they really get it right. Like
Yes,
that's
yes,
the
I
only
loved.
thing that they
Yeah,
get right.
and we'll switch it to like talk about something positive. Like I think I think Jet's his introduction, his execution, and how they handle his character and his purpose is the only thing that they nailed in the show. And like they
Mhm.
got a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that they did well or got right. Um, but Jet is one of the only things, and like Jet looks great too. All of his his whole crew look dope. Um,
Mhm.
his whole reasoning and like how his character is handled. Like I think they did a fantastic job with Jet.
Oh yeah.
Um, and I think it just makes me even more upset because it's like, okay, so I know y'all are capable of nailing this shit, but like you're just actively choosing not
Yeah.
Yeah.
to.
It's insane.
Yeah, I guess we should give like I'll give one more positive, and I guess we should give like closing thoughts. This is one more like spoiler
Mhm.
positive. So we talked about earlier about them doing more backstory stuff in this
Yeah.
one versus like the animated show. And some of it kind of fucked up the pacing, I think, honestly. But I am appreciative that they put it in there though. Like that
Yeah.
Oh
scene
yeah.
of the firebenders coming to the air temple and fucking shit up. That was dope. and because we never actually see it, it's
Iroh's
just always
son's
implied.
funeral was actually very good.
Iroh's son's funeral and highlighting the the start of this
The
bond
the,
between him and
the connection
Zuko.
between him and Zuko, yeah.
Dude, like all the I think the backstory shit was well done. I think some of it could have been handled better or paced differently, but I think a lot of the
Mhm.
backstory shit was well done. My favorite backstory thing that they did was explaining Zuko's crew. Because I don't know if they did
Yeah.
this in the
Yeah.
show, but they were
I
like, all
don't.
right, the four
Yeah.
yeah, so they're like the 41st are basically just gonna be like fucking cannon fodder.
Mhm.
And Zuko's like, what the fuck? He's like, why are we just about to sacrifice a whole platoon of dudes? Like, is there not a different way that we can do this? And then that's what leads to the fight with him and his dad. And then
Yep.
that's what leads his dad to banish him. And then he's like, in fact, since you care so much about them, fucking take the 41st with you. And then once they hear that that's why they were assigned to Zuko, they become so loyal to him. And I think that was a
Yeah.
really dope scene. And I think that was a really good
Oh yeah.
extra beat that wasn't there in the show that they introduce. Because they
Mhm.
didn't have to do that. That's some shit that they really just
No, not at
fucking pulled
all.
I
out of
think they
nowhere.
Yeah.
briefly mentioned it, but they didn't go into as much detail as they
They
did
ain't
in the
going to
live.
like, yeah. So that is one thing that I think they did really well because I like that like you see the turn of like them
Yeah.
questioning like this kid's a fucking failure. Why are we following him? And they're like, no,
Yeah.
motherfucker, this kid is the reason you're alive right now. And they're like, ah, damn.
Ah,
maybe we should
damn.
maybe we should do what he said.
Just one more nitpick thing before we go back into closing thoughts. Where was the water bending training that they were doing? Very minimal of, I'll go and say, but like
Think she's gone
there was
again.
Aang did no water bending until they got to the Northern Water Tribe.
Yeah, that
None
was
at
weird.
all. Didn't
Not
have
at
a whole
all, bro.
scroll that they
Yeah.
worked on.
Not
But
at all, bro.
like Benji was saying earlier, it's the little things. It's the little
Yeah.
things.
I very much noticed that by like episode 6 or 7. I was like, man, my man hasn't practiced a lick of water bending at
He
all.
hasn't done jack
Yeah.
shit.
Not
They
shit,
literally
bro.
started training on Kyoshi
Man,
Island.
this man said I'm bald. I'm One Punch Man. I can do what I want.
I guess so, bro.
That's
Oh,
part of the reason Katara got jealous is because Aang was able to do all the shit so fucking quickly.
so this is one more like spoiler thing that I forgot about. How did y'all feel that they handled the blue demon?
I'll say I like the mask. I'll say I like the mask.
I did like the
The mask was
mask.
dope.
I like the
Mask was
mask
on
and the
point.
sword.
The swords were good. The outfit was on point.
Did they show?
Yeah.
I didn't get that far because I stopped at 5 because of the cabbage. But did they show Katara and Sokka being like sick and sucking on the frozen frogs?
No,
No.
My fucking
Oh, Itchy's gone.
that had
Itchy's gone
nothing to
again.
do with why Aang was captured.
Yeah, it had nothing to do. Genuinely nothing. Yeah.
It's crazy, man. Like they just said,
Ugh,
"Fuck it."
fuck.
Do you think that I don't remember his name, that didn't fucking matter. Do you think that one general like knows for sure
General
that
Zhao.
Zuko was a blue demon? Zhao? Yeah, do you think Zhao knows that Zuko's a blue demon?
Yeah, I think so.
I think he's got a nice good hint on it for sure.
I feel like
Yeah, I think
I
I
feel like
think
that's
he
just kind of
knows.
crazy. I feel like the Zuko having to be like on his own arc comes in like kind of I could just be misremembering, but I feel like it comes in kind of quick in terms of like
No, it definitely does compared to the show.
yeah, I feel like it comes in fast as fuck. I was like, damn, we're only in season 1 and Zuko's already on his own. Like I'm hoping they spend more of spend more of season 2 like developing Zuko and like, showing that turn since they already got to this
Yeah.
point. Um
Mhm.
but yeah, I feel like we got there early as fuck.
Nah, yeah, we
Yeah,
definitely
yeah,
did
I
for
think just a
sure.
little bit.
All right, bro. Who wants to start with closing thoughts?
Ugh.
All right, let me.
I
Actually, don't go
yeah.
ahead. Go ahead. You the guest, my
Okay,
man. Go ahead. Go
yeah.
ahead.
So, like, it's such a weird thing. Like I said at this very opening of it,
And real quick,
is
let's just to be safe, keep all of this spoiler free.
yeah. So, like, for me, I always am gonna support anything Avatar. like anything Avatar in that Avatar universe, whether it be the Legend of Korra, whether it be the cartoon, whether it be the mangas, whether it be the new live action. I'm always gonna support it. I was still there in the theater for the M. Night Shyamalan. I was there. I had my Cinnabon tray. It was great, but the movie wasn't. In the same vein, I was here for the Netflix show, and I think that I don't think it was downright horrible, but I also don't think it could have been where it was, because we saw such good moments of what the show could be if they just hyper focused on what that thing is. So because I know that they have a potential, season 2 could be great, I'm still gonna be here for the next season of this. I'm still gonna keep watching.
I'm definitely committed all the way through for sure.
And then I was about to say I gotta switch screens, but I guess let's all include that in our final thoughts. This is like a question I meant to ask: is will you be watching the rest of the series?
Yeah.
So we got to vote from Dalt. Dalt's gonna be watching the rest of this, at least season 2. Dalt's at least gonna watch season 2. We'll see.
Because if you fuck up Toph, I'm coming for your head.
Oh God. Okay, yeah, no, I agree with you. If they fuck up Toph, I'm fucking done.
I do.
This is the big brain thing for season 2 Netflix. If you want me to be hooked in, you fulfill the prophecy and you make the motherfucking boulder the rock.
I was legit about to say that. I was like,
y'all better ring up Dwayne and drop all the money sacks in the world.
Can we please just have a funny goof wrestling fan moment? Can we please have The Rock dubbed over by Mick Foley?
Exactly.
That would be so funny. That would be so funny.
If Mick Foley did a great job,
dub. I love it.
If Mick Foley did a wonderful, beautiful job, like impersonating The Rock as the Boulder, I need The Rock to be the Boulder. I just need it, because they're just intertwined. They're the same. It would be great. But if you do fuck up Toph, I'm not watching the rest of season 2. But
I was say Tenchi, closing thoughts for season 1, and will you watch season 2?
Yes, I will. I will continue watching season 1 just to get over all the stuff we went through, get my shit out. But
I think Tenchi's rating's gonna go lower after he finishes the season.
Season 2 better be spot on.
I'm gonna hop in on this one. All right, man. Yeah. Closing thoughts. I'm with Dalt, where Avatar is so dope that I'm always just gonna be happy to get more Avatar anything, and I'm really excited to hear that we're gonna get more animated stuff. This was not what I wanted this show to be, but I think what's more upsetting is it's not what I know the show could have been. Because again, like Dalt said, they have those pockets of greatness in there to show that they are capable of doing some great shit, but there's so much that they got wrong and so much that they fucked up that it just ended up going way underneath my expectations and being very disappointing. But for the love of wanting to support Avatar shit, I will be watching season 2. I have high hopes that they're gonna take feedback and shit, because like people were very vocal about the show.
Yeah.
So I think I hope and pray they're gonna take feedback and lessons learned, and I something that we didn't mention, but I'll mention here. I don't even think what we wanted. I know we made a lot of comparisons to the original show. It's not even that we wanted a beat for beat just recreation in live action.
Yeah.
I understand the purpose of of making the show again is to switch some stuff up, and that's fine. I just want you to have because we said with the flashback shit, there's a lot of flashback shit that they didn't do in the original show. I think it was very well done here. Oh, yeah. So I'm not even against them changing shit. I just want there to be a good reason for the change, to where it doesn't mega fuck up characters, the story beats and stuff. That's it. That's all I ask. So if you want to change shit, that's fine. I just want it to make sense. But yeah, to close out, I will be watching season 2. Yeah. Caleb, closing thoughts.
So I started off my rating saying it was a 9. just yeah. After watching the show, after analyzing everything, and then rewatching the whole series afterwards, it's definitely at about a 5, if not
Yeah.
5.5.
We forgot to give our numbers, but I think from our closing statements, you kind of figured it out. Yeah.
We're all kind of in the same ballpark a little bit. Like I said, Tenshi's might go a little bit lower, but going on what you were saying, Bo, like we didn't really want or need a shot for shot recreation,
right?
But we know they could have done very well with it because a show like The Last of Us exists, which was almost a shot for shot thing of the video game and turned out fucking great.
Right.
So we know it's possible that they could have done something like this with the show. It's just little nitpicky choices that have had the opposite or detouring effect of what they initially had in the actual show, that it just throws the whole flow of the show off.
Majorly,
yeah,
bro.
Yeah.
Majorly. So, hey, and now that we got all that fucking negativity out of our systems.
God, we've been sitting on that for like a month now. Holy fuck.
I was gonna say, dog, I want to thank you again for doing this with us, man, because we've all been sitting on a lot of that for at least 2 months.
we were sitting on it for episode 3. We were waiting for episode 3 on that. Like, God.
So it was very therapeutic for me, at least I could tell. So for Tenshi and Caleb to be able to like get this out of our systems, and hopefully for you too. We just want good shit, man. That's all we want, man. We just want good shit, all we want, man. Just
good shit.
Some closing shit.
I'll also be watching season 2 for sure. I'll go and say I will be watching season 2.
So I think we're all in agreement. We're gonna be watching season 2. Fingers crossed that if you fuck up
Toph, if you fuck up the greatest goddamn earthbender on the fucking planet, I'm coming for you.
Not even just Toph. The build up to Toph. Like
if y'all fuck up Toph, bro, that might be raps.
No bullshit. I kind of feel like they're going to, because like such a pivotal role for Toph is that Sokka is the adversary in terms of like it's so how the fuck are they going to do Toph like that? I don't know how they're going to do it right. Like it's going to be a big thing for them to overcome.
And like obviously I realized it when I was watching it, but I never realized how pivotal of how much shit revolves around how Sokka is as a character in the OG show. He influences so much of the world around him.
He really does.
But yeah, guys, we gonna get the fuck out of here, but real quick, Tenshi, where can they find you on the socials, my brother?
And they can find me on Instagram at Tenshi_X99. My Twitch, Tenshi Otsumaki, capital O to the T to SUMAKI. And same thing on TikTok, Tenshi Otsumaki.
Hell yeah. What about your Twitter?
Oh, Twitter. My Twitter is TenshiX9X.
Hell yeah, Caleb. I'm gonna have you throw all that shit up there.
I will get on it.
Caleb, where can they find you?
You can find me at Calibration96 on Twitter. You can find me at calibration.ttv on Instagram because I got locked out of my old account. Still gotta try to get back into that bitch, but it's been like 2 years. And you can also see me at just Calibration on Twitch. Sorry about hitting the microphone there. You can find me at Calibration on Twitch. Trying to get back into streaming a little bit. Gonna try to do a little bit more stuff. Done a couple of streams here and there, but yeah, that's where you can find me. And also on this podcast always, and more Goon Squad shit in the future. So
hell yeah. You can find me on most things at Bojack Official. Bojack Official on Twitter, Bojack Official Bojack Official IG on Instagram. My theme song is playing in my ears. It's fucking me up. You can find me on Twitch at Dreadlock, DREDLOCKD. You can find me on YouTube at Dreadlock Media. I've been putting up a bunch of fucking gaming videos up there lately. Please go check that out. If you want to buy some Bojack merch, bojackmerch.com. It's a super fucking simple URL. I don't know how you would fuck it up. Literally bojackmerch.com is where you go to find all my shit. And once again, you are our big guest for the episode. Where can they find you at, bro?
At Phoenix Nitro on all social media platforms, youtube.com/at Phoenix Nitro as well. And you can hear me on PWF, Premier Wrestling Federation in North Carolina, Newport, North Carolina, to be exact. You can hear me and see me at Naptown All Pro in Indianapolis, Indiana. You can see me occasionally in Dayton, Ohio at The Wrestling Revolver. And that's where I'm usually at. Yeah, I'm Shane.
Hell yeah. And then
Wait,
before we
one
get out of
thing.
here, oh, go ahead, Tenchi. No, I mean, we got some more stuff, but go ahead.
But we do have one more social because, like, yeah, you can follow us and make sure.
Oh,
to
shit,
see,
yeah.
Oh yeah.
To see where we post the episode. But go ahead and make sure to follow Anime is Love, Anime is Life at animeislovexlife or IXL, whatever. But
Yeah.
make sure to
We'll throw it
follow
up
their
on screen. It'll be on screen.
Oh yeah.
Bam.
It'll all be over here. I'll get the proper
yeah.
URL for everything.
So that way you'll be able to keep up with us on when the episode drops, either through Twitter or Instagram, because we're dropping it everywhere. We're dropping every single episode everywhere.
We're dropping it everywhere. Send us more Q&A questions,
Absolutely,
for
yes.
like maybe for guests, if we have on guests, or like just want to ask us some shit, whatever. In the comments of the YouTube, leave a review on fucking Spotify, whatever the fuck, however the fuck you guys consume the show. Leave some questions for us, and a little bit of an announcement concerning the next episode. Buy the merch. GoonsWatPW.com. I'll throw it back up there while we're fucking doing this. GoonsWatPW.com.
Get your merch done. Get your merch.
Next episode, we will be doing episode 2 of Last Song Standing. If you guys have a song that you think should be involved in the official tournament, drop it in the comments, drop it in the review, and if there's a song that gets some overwhelming support of what should be involved in,
One of us might
Last Song
actually agree
Standing.
with you, and we'll add it to our playlist.
Right,
Or we'll add it to our choices.
exactly.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll win the whole fucking thing. Who knows? So, hell yeah. So, Last Song Standing, episode 2 coming up. Fellas, I think that's all we fucking got. I think we're ready to get the fuck out of here.
Oh, we did it.
I think
We
do.
did
Yeah.
it.
I'm
bless.
leaving. I'm leaving. I'm done.
All right.
Yeah, I'm
Right
getting
there
fucked
with you,
out.
dog.
All right. Yeah, bet.
Yep.
It's been nice. Take it
See
easy.
y'all later. Bye. Love y'all.
I stubbed my toe.